Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and I have a fun project that would make a great gift, a house decor, or just something fun to make. It's going to look like we've appliqued, but we are not using a sewing machine at all. So for this project, we're going to need to buy a piece of canvas. And this is canvas that's already pre-stretched. The next thing we're going to need to do is get a piece of fabric that's going to cover that canvas and have some extra bit to go over and around the back. From there, we're going to need some applique shapes. The applique pattern that I'm going to use is from Laser Cuts, and it's called A Very Retro Christmas. The pattern size does suggest 25 by 20. And the canvas I was able to find is 18 by 24. So I'm going to be able to make that size work. So once you have chosen the design that you're going to do, you need to find a canvas around that size. Then we're going to need a piece of fabric. Be sure to have that fabric pressed well, and then place your canvas upside down and make sure that you have enough room all the way around so that when you go to roll those edges over afterwards, you're going to have that extra room. Once your canvas is centered on, draw a chalk line around that canvas. And that way you're going to have an area within to work on. I will be using my Clover Choco marker because it brushes off. And I'm just going to go and mark that outside measurement. Once that's marked, we can put the canvas aside. The Laser Cut kit does come with a template or a layout page. And this is the actual size of all of those beautiful applique shapes. This will almost fit, so I'm going to use it more as a visual guide than an actual guide. The kit comes with a page that gives us all of the pattern pieces. So I have the green fabric with the leaves, and I can see I have them in 3 different fabrics. You could take time and label the back of the pattern pieces to match your leaves if you'd like, and your other pieces. But since I'm only going to use this as a visual guide, I'm not really going to worry about it. What I do want is to build my ornaments first. And that's where these guides are going to come in handy. So I have this big ornament here. I'm going to be able to use the picture and the guide. So I'm going to build this ornament, and all of the ornaments I'm going to put together first. The pieces are all pre-cut for us. There are just little areas that we need to snip. A little pair of scissors, we can snip those little pattern pieces out. And I'm going to be able to remove those little snowflake shapes. The same is with some of the larger ornaments. We're going to be able to remove some of the inside, but that fusible is already on the back, so we do not need to do any ironing, no cutting. It's all done for us. But we do need to separate these little pieces. To build the ornaments, I'm going to get all of those pieces that I need and fuse them together. The bottom layer, leave that paper on. And then we're going to be able to take the paper off. All of the units building up. To take that paper back off, just take a pin and run it along the paper so it puts a little cut in the paper. And with that little cut, you're going to be able to peel that paper off. So the paper is discarded, and that fusible glue is on the back of this pattern. Once we layer those pieces together, we can fuse them together. I still have the paper on that bottom one, so I can just put the iron over top just for a couple of seconds, only 2 or 3 seconds. I don't need the shapes to stay on really, really tight because the final pressing will set them all together. I'm going to do this to everything that needs to be layered up. So I will have different ornaments that I can pre-layer. Once they're put together, I can then take off that paper. And you can put that pin right between the layers and peel that paper off. Because my canvas is not the same size as this template, I'm going to do a lot of it by eye. So I'm going to lay out the pieces on my fabric. Once all those shapes are down, I then can add the leaves on. And I do find a little pair of tweezers really helps pick these up and put them where you want. They're just easy to maneuver this way. I do want some of the ornaments on top of the leaves and some underneath. I do not want any of the shapes pulling over. I want them all to stay on the front. So I'll even leave just a little bit on the top here because this is going to be stretched a little bit. So I do want a bit of a space. So I'm going to leave about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to take some of these appliques and put them over and under. So I can take some of those leaves and put them over and under each other, just like regular tree branches would go. I could put the ornaments above or below. There's no right and wrong. It's just going to be fun to put some of those leaves on top and some of them below. When I took apart this one ornament, I did end up with this little snowflake. So I have 3 snowflakes. I'm going to add those in the quilt because they are really cute little shapes. Once all of the pieces are on the way that I like them, I'm going to be able to give it a good press to activate all of that adhesive. You will need a cotton setting with a dry iron, so no steam at all. And we're going to press these for 5 seconds. It is important that we do not overpress these because with any adhesive, we could over activate that glue. So 5 seconds and lift. 5 seconds and lift. We're going to do that whole piece of fabric just with 5 seconds and lifting it up. Once it's pressed, if you just move the fabric a little bit, you'll see if any of the areas have not fused down. When those are all fused down, turn it upside down and just press that area lightly. This is just going to make sure all of the little ends are stuck down. Once again, we do not need to overpress. When we're finished all of that pressing, we can embellish this. There are so many things that we can embellish it with. Ribbons, bows, and in my case, I'm going to use fabric glue, a little glitter glue, and pens. I'm going to mark some chains as if these are hanging from the tree branches. And I'm going to fill in some areas with some little shiny glue. Because this is going on that stretch canvas, it will not be washed. So you can use glue that doesn't necessarily need to be washed. So have some fun and decorate your panel. Once your paint or any embellishments are dried and secure, we're going to be able to take this and stretch it on top of this canvas. I did brush off those chalk marks, and now I can center this on that canvas. Once it's centered, I'm going to grab the back of the fabric and hold it tight to that canvas. Now I'm going to be able to move it and turn it upside down. This is just going to help me keep it centered. First thing I'm going to do is secure the 4 corners. There are a few different ways that we can secure this fabric on top of this canvas. The canvas does have a wooden frame on it, so we can continue and use a staple gun to staple on top. We can also use 2-sided tape, glue, and glue guns. But for today, I'm going to use thumbtacks. Take those 4 corners, fold them over. We do want that fabric firm into the corners, but we don't want to stretch too much because we don't want to distort that picture in the front. So just give a little tug from the corner and bring it over. And put that thumbtack in. Do the 2 opposite corners and then the opposite corners. Before we really put those tacks in or whatever we do permanently, we should check and make sure that that front has not moved. So we can pick that up and make sure that we like the layout on the front. If not, this is definitely the time to move it. Once the corners are anchored, we're going to be able to pull over all of the fabric edges and add another tack. So I'm going to continue smoothing this over and placing my tacks. If you find it's a little hard to go through the fabric and that top canvas, you can cut off a little bit of this canvas. You need to keep on the seam allowance side, but just running along the edge with an X-Acto knife will cut that canvas off. So you'll have just that wood area that you can staple on. You could also staple to this inside. Once this is secured on, we're going to be able to cut off this extra. And it's okay to leave a little bit inside. We do not want to be too close to the edge. We want to remove just enough so it doesn't flap over to the front. That inside's all finished, which means the outside is ready to go. And you can always add more embellishments. Starting with this pre-cut kit, I didn't have to trace the shapes, cut out the shapes. They were all done for me. I just needed to fuse them on a piece of fabric, put a little bit of embellishment on, stretch it on a piece of canvas, and it's done. This is going to make a great gift, a great wall hanging, and having fun with all that embellishment makes it really personal. Thank you for joining me today on So Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're talking about next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.